All right, Young in Faith, we are back in 2026 with the first episode of the year. You guys know me. My name is Gary. I'm the founder and director of Young in Faith. I have a special guest today, and it's a Lawanna Jackson.
Yes,
Give it up for
hello.
Lawanna. Lawanna is she's a fifth grade teacher at Galaxy Elementary High School. She's a loving mother. She's a strong Christian and believer. I love her walk and love what God's doing in her life, and we're gonna have a special just open conversation about what God's doing through her journey this past year, what God's been bringing her through, but also teaching her in her journey. So, Lawanna, thank you for joining us today and
Thank
just
you
being
so
a
much for
part.
having me.
Yeah, yeah, it's been amazing just to see you and just to see your life on Facebook. I know we follow each other, and
Yes,
I've been able. I literally just reached out to her. Um, I think last week, and we had a whole conversation for an hour
we
on the
did.
phone, catching up about faith. And I haven't seen you for about a year and a
Year and
half
yep,
or
about
so.
a year and a
So,
half.
but I remember Lawanna actually, we called her the football mom. So she was at every football banquet and game. She was
Yes,
preparing the way. I remember one time you were at Christ Fellowship helping me
yes,
prepare some stuff, and you were like, "Hey, what do you need? I'm here to help or whatever." So it was just cool to just always see you serving and being part of the community, always trying to figure out ways you can help. And it's been amazing to see that, man. So,
thank you.
first off, tell me a bit about yourself, where you're at right now. And I know, again, when you start, you're a teacher. So, talk to me about your passion about teaching and all that you're doing with that.
Well, currently I'm a teacher at Galaxy E3 Elementary in
Okay.
Boynton Beach, Florida. I currently hold the title for the 2027 Teacher of the Year for
Come
Palm
on.
Beach County.
Mm,
Super excited about that. I've been at Galaxy a little over 22 years.
mm,
I currently teach fifth grade math and science and fourth
mm,
grade AMP. I absolutely love it.
mm,
It's my passion. I
mm,
do it in my sleep. It's something that keeps me going. I wake up every morning willing and wanting to teach
mm,
my students and just letting them know that they can be mathematicians and scientists.
mm,
So I absolutely love it.
mm. I love that. I feel like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think there's a lot of teachers in a culture that just really, I know times are rough when we're going through a recession and
Yes.
all these things are happening. Of course, teachers are like, man, I'm not getting paid enough,
Yeah.
and sometimes their job is very stressful. But for you, you're saying like that's your drive, that's your passion. You wake up with a purpose. So like,
Absolutely. I have a really good village. First of all, my fifth grade team is just phenomenal. I have the support of my single school culture coordinator,
mm,
Miss Laura Bickle. She just does a phenomenal job at just encouraging us, just leading us. And then my phenomenal assistant principal and principal, Miss Mejia and Vonda Daniels, they are the glue to the school.
mm,
They are the ones that keep us pushing. They make us be deep thinkers,
mm,
and they really support what I do in the classroom.
mm,
My students are my why. They're the reason why I wake up every day and want to teach because I do understand my purpose and I want to move this school district along. I'm proud to be a teacher in Palm Beach County. We're an A-rated school district,
mm,
and I believe I have some impact with that.
mm,
So my goal every year is to try to get as many proficient students, a lot of learning gains, and most importantly, just to teach the children to have a love for learning, for math and
mm,
science.
I love that, and I feel like for you, I know you get. I'm actually, people don't know this about me, but sometimes I substitute for the school district.
Okay.
So I get to meet kids all around, in different schools and just experience different personalities. I know sometimes you're probably getting kids in the classroom that are a bit of a struggle, and you got to, of course, step in and be that teacher, like, yo, like, get your work done, or, just be that teacher, just to stand on business, that people will say. But what through sometimes when you're kind of struggling, with those type of kids, what reminds you of your why?
Um, Most importantly, my students know before I'm a teacher, I'm their mom. I tell them I'm a
Mm,
mom first.
mm,
My number one job is to make sure that they feel safe, they
mm,
feel valued, they feel seen. One thing that I am learning with children, when they know that you love them and care about them, they are willing to do the work, no matter how
mm,
tough it is. Um, by me coming to school every day, I'm showing the students that leave it at the door. When you come into this classroom, it's a safe place,
yeah.
and as long as you're giving the best that you can be, I got it from here.
Mm,
Let me do what I need to do to get you
mm,
to that next level. So
mm,
that's my number one goal.
mm. And do you feel like a lot of kids, you would say, them probably come from broken homes, where you may feel like you're being that mother figure for, like you said, like you feel like you're setting the tone for them in the classroom? Because I know for me, like, I meet kids that come inside the classrooms and they don't have the best, situation at the house. They
Mhm.
may come from a single mom home or a
Mhm.
single father home. Like, do you deal with certain things like that? Like, do you feel
I
like it's a
feel like
tough, yeah?
every school has their own challenges.
Hmm.
Kids come with all different type of
Yeah.
situations, and it's my job to bridge the gap and to let them know, no matter what the situation is that they can be productive, they can contribute. That
Mm,
the things that they say and the things that they go through, I see them, I hear them, I value them. But most importantly, let's get through this together because, like I tell them, I think sometimes they think, oh, that's a teacher, they may not understand.
mm,
But I just want to let them know I definitely understand where they're coming from. I have two kids of my own, so I definitely get the everyday struggles and challenges that the kids face, on an everyday basis.
mm. I love that, man. I
Yeah,
think that's definitely like you're getting many kids with different situations, but
yeah,
your purpose is your why. You know what I mean? Like you're there for a reason to continue to
absolutely.
motivate them, encourage them in their walk right now. And I I wanna shift gears a little bit, but before I do, what is one for that one teacher right now that is on the edge of quitting,
Hmm.
on the edge of giving up, and the
Yeah.
edge of just I'm done, I'm tired. Like, what do you want to say to that one teacher?
The most important message I want to let teachers know is don't forget why you started in education to begin with.
Mm,
Don't forget why you chose the profession. We
yeah.
definitely didn't do it for the money.
Mm,
We did it because we want to change the world within the children that enter our classroom. We want to have impact. We want to lead by examples. We want to build better citizens out there. We want kids to grow up and be prepared in the everyday world.
yeah.
And most importantly, for me, it's about building those relationships.
Yeah.
If you don't have those relationships, it is a challenge. But I just want to let that teacher know who's at the verge right now saying that education is tough because it is tough.
Mm,
Sometimes it feels like you may not be getting through to those students, but I want them to realize don't forget why you came into it.
mm,
If you can reach that one student, they are depending on you to come to school every day and give it your all.
mm,
So I want to tell them don't give up,
mm,
to keep striving, and just know the importance of why you came into education.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's powerful. Like, I think for me, like every time I get up and do young and faith and get
yeah,
inside of school, and I always try to be an open book with, my community and let them know
yeah,
like my job is not always easy. There's a lot of things that are challenging, especially as a young man that's building an organization.
yeah.
But I always have to wake up and remember my why I started, and the reason why God called me into the position I am,
Hmm.
to reach those students. And I reminded myself that if I can just impact one person a day, if I just reach one person, I put a smile on God's face,
Absolutely.
and we're not here, like you said, we're not doing it for the money.
No,
People in ministry and people in the school district, like we're not doing it for money. We do it because we have a passion, we have a strong drive,
absolutely.
and we have a strong drive to see lives changed, and to see students find hope, and to see students have faith. And I think what God's been doing in my life has just been showing. I always ask God to break my heart,
Yeah,
and if God continues to break my heart every single day, I'm motivated to do something about it.
yeah,
I'm not motivated to sit down. I don't look at the world and be like, well, sucks as like that. I look at broken things and I'm like, man, God, how can I be a service to
yeah,
it? How can I be a part of this mission? Because I want to be a part of creating a change. I want to be a part of creating a better world and a better community
absolutely.
for our kids, for our people. So that's my big drive. Like, God, continue to keep breaking my heart for the things around
Yeah,
me, so that I stay woke and I stay open to providing a shift and a change for that. And kid you not, that's been even when I'm tired and
I know.
I I lost hope here and there, because there's days you're gonna lose hope. There's some days you're
Absolutely.
gonna feel drained, and everyone's gonna go through that. But you gotta go back to the brokenness and be like, man, God, like you call me to be a change to that.
Yeah,
God's using each and every one of you to be a change in the area, and no one can do what you do.
mhm,
God has gifted everyone. Like
yeah,
Lawanna, you're gifted in your special way. That's why you won Teacher of the Year, because they saw something different inside of you that they didn't see anybody else.
yeah.
And that's really powerful. Like the change that you're bringing, it's connected to you specifically. So um, but yeah, I wanted to shift gears again on our next conversation.
Okay.
I know really. this past year has been rough for you,
It
a year and
has.
a half, I believe.
It
Well,
has.
so I know, last year you lost your son Jason,
I did.
and I had the honor of meeting Jason at St. Lucia's High School. He was actually a part of Young and Faith, and
Yeah.
I was a chaplain for a little bit at the St. Lucia's football team, so I got to do some pregame messages and pour into the team, and
Yeah.
just with him and his life story, I know we talked a lot, and even at the funeral I attended, there was just so much like you can the way you were at the funeral. I have to say it's like it was very powerful to see how a mother is grieving, but she's still lifted up. How a mother just lost her son, but she's still empowered. That you still, I remember these words you said, I still trust him.
That's correct.
I still trust him. And I go back to that. I'm like, and people that don't know us, that don't know our faith, it's like, how?
Hmm.
How can you still hold yourself when with such a big tragedy like that?
I
So
know.
I wanted to just have you open up and just talk about that journey and all God's been teaching you through that, and
Mhm.
just from that time. And yeah.
Well, October 13th, my son was traveling back home from Orlando, Florida. He had went skating with a friend, and he was involved in a horrific car accident. He was trauma hawked to Miami, Florida, and he fought for his life for 10 days. October 23rd of 2024, he passed away. He got his angel wings, and of course, my heart just broke. And I just remember those 10 days. I didn't leave his side. My village was there, and I just kept asking God, Lord, just heal him.
Mm.
Just heal him. Just heal him. This whole time I'm at the hospital, I'm still a teacher, still reaching out to my team, still communicating with my principal, who just did a phenomenal job of just making sure that I was okay. My area superintendent, Dr. Rachel Capitano, the whole school district of Palm Beach County. I truly can say that I truly work in the best county in Florida.
Yeah.
Through everything that I went through, I thought I was going to quit. I didn't know if I was even coming back. But every step of the way, they supported me. And when I lost my son, I was just completely heartbroken. My message to people is no matter what you're going through, my story was I still trust him. I didn't like that my son had left me. And I said, Lord, I wish things could have been different. Something unique about Jason is his name is Healer. So those 10 days, I was asking God to heal him. When I took the time to pull up his name and see what did it mean, it was so funny. It was Healer. And I understood in that moment he was already healed. It was God's decision and his decision whether he was going to stay here on this side of earth or go join God. And that's the decision that happened. I did take some time off. I needed that time. That whole entire time, my village just was there. They never left my side. I am truly grateful for the family and friends and my job and my church family. They just so supportive. And I said, well, I told Miss Daniels, my principal, I said, well, I quit. Not coming back. I just can't do it. She said, well, whatever you decide, we're going to support you, but I'm not going to let you quit. And so slowly but surely, I know like during the Christmas time, I came and helped set up the room because, of course, so many different organizations were donating toys to my students. And they were like, oh, my God, Miss Jackson's back. And, so I kind of was elusive and hiding a little bit,
Yeah.
In the back of the office because I wasn't sure whether I was ready to face my students and answer those tough questions. And there was a young little girl and finally returned back to class and the kids were just ecstatic. And I shared tears and we talked about, me losing Jason and how he's now my guardian angel and purple's his color. So purple now is my favorite color. And the young lady said, well, Miss Jackson, we need you just as much as you need us. And in that very moment, it solidified why I came back to Galaxy. In that very moment, I knew no matter how bad it was, no matter how tough it was, those words came back and resonated with me. Lord, I still trust you. No
Mm.
matter what I'm going through, keep the faith. Don't give up. And recently, my pastor, Johnny L. Barber, I attend St. John Missionary Baptist Church in Boynton, and he said, not only have faith, be faith.
Mm.
When you walk around, people should see faith in you. I do believe that I am a servant. I don't believe that I won Teacher of the Year because they feel bad for me. They sympathize with me. I lost my son. People lose people every day.
Yeah.
I truly believe I earned it. I
Mm-hmm.
come to Galaxy every single day and I pour my heart into those children. It's bigger than math and science, reading and writing for me.
Mm.
They first have to trust and believe that you are their go-to person and you believe that they can do anything.
Mm.
And then once you have the belief, you can move children. And I do always feel like there's always like this shining light. I can hear my son saying, Mom, keep going, keep trusting them. Don't give up. There are days when I'm vulnerable. There are days when I cry. There are days when I'm sad and I try to push through the teaching. And, my students will come and give me a hug, give me tissue. And guess what? I keep it moving.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
But without having that strong faith, being raised in the church, I truly believe God continues to keep me and my daughter, his dad, and our family. I just don't think I could do it without my faith.
Mm.
So it's not
Mm.
easy, but every day I'm just trying to get stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's amazing and it's beautiful, like just to see how all that you have been through, again,
Yeah.
going back to I still trust them.
Yeah.
And I think for many people that lost loved ones or
Yeah.
had a tragedy happen in their life, like I think the biggest question for them is like, how can I still trust God
Of course.
when I'm going through so much
Of
pain?
course.
How can I still believe in a God that that is supposed to be loving me and supposed to care for me, but he allowed me to go through this. So for
Absolutely.
that one person right now that's in the midst of a situation, in the midst of a loss, what can you say to them when they're struggling where I I don't know what to believe. I don't know if I have enough faith to keep it moving. I don't know what this means for me.
Yeah.
What do you say to that person?
You just have to first acknowledge that you feel a certain way. You may be angry. You may be
Yeah.
upset. You may lose faith. That's a real thing. You go
Mm.
through those different stages of, Lord, why me? But why not you?
Mm.
Life is not picture perfect. I tell my students all the time, it's not going to be rainbows and lollipops all the time. Sometimes life is tough.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do about it? You're going to lay down and die? You're going to get up and dust yourself off.
Mm.
You got to first acknowledge that the way you feel is hurt. I lost faith. I'm
Yeah.
angry. I'm upset.
Yeah.
Then you have to open up your heart to whoever it is that you choose to believe in. I believe in God. And you have to ask God to direct your path. You have to ask God to come into your life, into your heart, and to give you direction.
Mm.
You got to pray. You got to get angry with him.
Mm.
You got to talk to him.
Mm.
You have to open up.
Mm.
And you have to acknowledge that those are real feelings.
Mm.
And that, Lord, what would you like for me to do? Take me out of it and please just guide and direct me.
Mm.
And then if you can't do it on your own, you need to find a trusted adult. One thing about Palm Beach County, they have a system in place, pretty much all the schools, elementary, middle, and high school. When you first start school, they ask you, who's your trusted adult? Who's your go-to person?
Yeah.
So if you can't do it by yourself, there needs to be somebody you can go to.
Mm.
Maybe it's your teacher, your guidance counselor, your principal, the custodial, maybe the cafeteria worker.
Mm.
But it needs to be somebody that you can go to. So I would tell anybody, especially a young person, find you somebody you can trust, find you somebody you can talk to and open up
Mm.
about how you feel about certain things.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's powerful. Like, and I think people too, like I deal with so many kids that they're like, I don't feel like. I think the biggest thing when you're dealing with any type of depression or any type of situation, the biggest thing that we not love to do, but we tend to isolate ourselves.
Absolutely.
And from what I've learned, isolation is the enemy from healing. So when you isolate yourself and you put yourself in this box where I don't want to talk to them, I don't want to deal with anyone, you're allowing the wound not to get any healing. You're not in the womb just to continue to fester. But God calls us to community. Like there's a reason why, like God said it wasn't good for man to be alone. It wasn't good for us to be alone, his kids. Like he knew that there's gonna be times in life where it's gonna be hard and it's gonna be difficult and
Yeah.
there's gonna be pain and sorrow, and we need strong believers, community around us that's gonna hold us. And I encourage every student that's listening out there, you may be walking through a season right now where it's tough, where it looks like there's no light at the end of the tunnel,
Yeah.
but you gotta believe and have faith that it's not the end,
That's
and
correct.
it's not the just because it looks like the end, it doesn't mean it is the end. It's because you feel like it's done, it doesn't mean it is done. That God is still working something out, and you're listening to two people that have gone through things on this podcast that have been through some dark times
Yeah.
that thought there was no way through, but understand that it's your what you're feeling is temporary. The pain is temporary. The feeling is temporary, and God is God says He's closer like no other, and He's willing to comfort you as your child. You are His child, and He's here to comfort you and to walk you through the
Yeah.
pain that you're going through. Um, so I remember with Jason, we talked about Jason and his faith journey.
Yeah.
And I remember you told me this straight up. You told me, and you said you told Jason, I can't get you into heaven.
That's
Like
right.
that's his walk.
That's right.
And I love that because you're like, I know some parents are like, well, no, I need to force my child to go to church. I need to force my child to go here and all these things. But you said, no, I encourage my son, I encourage my daughter
Absolutely,
to
I
walk
did.
with the Lord, but that's their decision. So talk to me about that. And
A rule in my house is something that my parents raised me with, my grandparents. As long as you live in my house, you will serve the Lord. That's a non-negotiable in my parents' house, and it's something I raised my children on. I felt like when they were young, I raised them in church. Both of my children served on the usher board. They went to church regularly. But I used to tell my children, I can't get you in heaven or hell by yourself. You have to know God for yourself, because one day He will call your name and your number. You will answer. And don't assume you automatically get to go to heaven. You have to earn your spot up there. And it's from the work that you do. I tell people all the time, when I'm dead and gone, that's when I rest. On my headstone, it's going to say, may the work that I have done speak for me. Because my goal is to be impactful. It's bigger than the classroom. I'm in a women's club. I'm active in my church. I'm out here helping the community any way that I can. So I believe everything that has come to me is because I've earned it. I believe Jason earned his wings because of the work that he did. You saw the usher board at his funeral. They did a beautiful, beautiful tribute to him. It's the work that he did. Jason turned 18. I can't make him go to church. I can't make him go to school. That was all on his own. And I attribute that to good upbringing. And who would have knew, 18 years young, my reality would be losing my son. To this day, I'm still in disbelief. I just can't believe it's real. But it's real. And I truly believe you must do the work. You got to take self out of it.
Yeah.
What are you doing for others? What are you bringing to the table? And that's just what I want to encourage young people. We live in a society, it's a microwave generation. Everything, 30 seconds. I want it right now. I don't want to wait. But all good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
But hard work, determination, trials and tribulations, there's definitely going to be some dark times, hard times. But it's not what happens to you, and how you deal with it. It's how you move forward in those times of adversity and sorrow and pain. How are you going to heal from those bad things that are going to happen to you? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to lay down, whine about it? Or are you going to dust yourself off, deal with it, and move forward? So that's what I tell myself every day, and just try to tell young people the same thing.
I look back at the funeral, and I think it wasn't, honestly, I'm not even gonna say it's a funeral, it was a celebration of life.
It was.
But also, I believe it was a revival because the amount of youth we saw St. John's and how packed it was with
Over 1,000 people.
come on, so like football players, people that knew Jason that were impacted by his life that were grieving in there. But I remember you said you wanted it to be an opportunity for people to give their life to Jesus and to
Absolutely.
follow him. And I think anytime when death happens, it's a reminder, right, to us that life is not promised tomorrow. And I think
Absolutely.
we say that casually in our culture, like life is short and all those things, and we know that. But until it happens, until it's in front of you, you're like, oh shoot, like this is real.
This is
So,
real.
with students, I think that again, like you said it right there, we live in a microwave generation, the fast life culture of
Yeah.
where, I'm around high schools all the time where
Mhm.
it's parties, the relationships, all these things that we're chasing, the success and
Absolutely.
titles and achievements, all these things that we're chasing. And it's like, man, like we're losing sight of the goal, which is growing our relationship with Jesus and pursuing him. And what would you say to that, like that, those students out there that um, are just not prioritizing, like they want to follow God, but they want to be in the world. They want to chase after God. But they still want to live how they want. Like, what would you say to that?
Um, what I would say is don't think you have time.
Mm,
We're here on borrowed time. You don't know the day nor the hour. You don't know when he's going to call you home. Don't think you have time.
mm,
And when you give your life to Christ, it's not an immediate fix. You don't just start walking with Christ and everything is going to be okay. I'm a woman of faith.
yeah.
I was brought up in the church. Something bad happened to me. My faith is being
Mm,
tested.
mm,
But the testimony is I still trust him.
yeah.
When my pastor came to my house when I lost Jason and he asked a few questions and I told the pastor, Pastor Barbara, I said, well, Jason's obituary is already written, Pastor.
Mm,
I don't need you to go preach his funeral.
wow.
His obituary is already written. But my goal for you is we may not get this opportunity ever again. He can attest to this.
Mm,
I was thinking maybe 400 people. I wasn't expecting over about 1,000 people
yeah.
at St. John. But I said, this is an opportunity to share God with those children who may have never entered church,
Mm,
who may not ever go to church after this,
yeah.
who may not be believers. They may have a different faith because our goal is not to recruit them to come to St. John or to believe in God. I want them to have a deeper understanding of there is a higher power
Wow.
and somebody is keeping you, somebody is protecting you.
Come on.
And anybody who knew Jason saw God in Jason.
Mm,
All those testimonies and stories. I was even shocked to hear the stories that people share.
mm,
Jason be at football practice playing his gospel music. He did not care what anybody thought about him.
mm,
Jason was in the cafeteria when he ate lunch, whether it be A or B lunch. He prayed before he ate.
mm,
He's a young male, cool, popular. He doesn't have to do those things.
right.
But I feel like those are the things that were instilled in him. And he has a lot of friends. They're called SOB. Those are his brothers. He's known them since they were little. SOB says standing on
Yeah.
business. And everybody has their
Yeah.
own, belief and relationship with God.
Mm,
But I at least want you to have some type of relationship
mm,
with him. And so the pastor just did a beautiful job at Jason's viewing. We opened up the church, you know, to young people, anybody who wanted to have a closer relationship with God. The
mm,
pastor did the same exact thing at his funeral. And when I tell you, it touched me deeply.
wow.
He didn't have to do that.
Mm,
And again, just so many testimonies, so many stories. People reach out to me all the time
yeah.
saying, because of Jason, I joined a church.
Wow.
Because of Jason, I got baptized, Mom. Because of Jason, I used to do this, but I don't do that anymore.
Mm,
I want to know about him. Because of Jason, I don't go to church, but I downloaded the Bible on my phone
mm,
and I try to read a few scriptures.
yeah.
So I just want you to know that, even in death, Jason is still having an impact
Yeah.
on people,
Mm,
you know?
mm. And that's real. And that's true. Like we don't believe death is the final say. we know
Yeah,
that we're gonna see Jason again, and
absolutely.
we know that heaven is cheering, heaven's real. And as believers, like I just look back and I'm like, man, what wouldn't it be so sad to just believe and just to really just believe that there was no after
Hmm.
after this life, that
Yeah,
we went through hell and back on this earth
I know.
and then to die and then that's it. But to know our faith is that no, like there's a heaven, there's a real God that loves us and cares for us, and this is not our home.
Absolutely.
This is not our final home. This is not the end for us. And that's just the power of our faith, that we know that man, there's a better life after this. And to have that instilled and let people know like, man, this is not the end, you know? Like, yeah, we're gonna cry and we're gonna grieve, but man, it gives us so much reassurance and peace to know that man, I'm not. This is not my home. I'm going somewhere after this,
Absolutely.
and God has prepared a home for me. And there's things that, and I'm still gonna have work when I get to heaven.
Absolutely.
There's gonna be a home for me. There's gonna be things I have to do. There's gonna be work that needs to be done, and that's just what I love about our walk with Jesus. That man, he said, no, death is not the end. Death is not the final say.
And to be absent from the body is to be present with the
Come
Lord.
on. Come
So
on.
you have to know that you're going to see his face. And it's the good deeds and the things that you do here, down here on earth, that will get you to his kingdom.
Mm,
But don't just think you automatically get a pass and, hey, you're there.
yeah.
You need to be a servant. And whatever it is you do, whatever career you do, what impact are you having in the lives of the people that you encounter? How
Mm,
do you make them feel? You know, how are you treating people? How are you treating yourself? And
mm,
I try to remind myself of that every single day. Be kind, Lawanna.
mm,
I'm a very honest person. People will tell you I'm a straight shooter. I don't
mm,
sugarcoat things. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I remind myself it's not what you do and how you do it, it's how you make people feel.
mm,
You know, who would have imagined, again, I lost my son, but if I could live half the life that he lived, 18 years old,
mm,
just so many amazing things,
mm,
to say about him and his life.
yeah.
I pray to live to have those same opportunities for when it's my time that somebody can get up and say those things about me.
Mm, mm.
So
What I
that's
like
the
too
goal.
is like it was pain,
It was
but
pain,
turned into purpose.
pain to
That that
purpose.
that service wasn't just us coming together, grieving together, but it was more revival because, like you said, how many people said, "Man, I changed my life and I
Absolutely.
stopped doing this, or I went this route because of his life," and I think that God is so good to the point where anything that we go through in this life, that He always uses it for a purpose. Anything that I walk
Absolutely.
through, it's not a waste. Like I think that imagine if we can go back in the history of all the painful things that we've been through in this life,
Yeah.
all the challenges, all the struggles, the things that I'm going through currently right now, how God is writing that story, and it's not a period, it's comma.
That's
That
right.
He's keep continuing to put on chapters and be like, no, she went through this, but this came out of it,
Yeah.
you know. So I think that's anybody that's listening again, like everything that you're going through for right now is served for a purpose, and it's not to
Absolutely.
say, like you said, like when you give your life to Jesus, it's not a ultimate fix where everything's going to be perfect, because he did say we will have problems on this earth, that we will walk
Absolutely.
through pain, that we will walk through struggles, but he said you won't be alone.
That's
And I
correct.
love that. Like you're not going to be alone through those struggles. You're not going to walk through the fire by yourself. You're going to walk through the fire and not be burned. And I think that's powerful, because there's going to be things that you're not gonna know what's gonna come. Like I'm pretty sure you didn't know that day was coming. You didn't plan for that to happen. It
No,
just happened,
no,
and nobody got to choose that for you. It just happened, and
it just
life
happened.
happens. You know. So work for right now, and you're with your family. I know it's not just you that's grieving, but it's your daughter as well too. So
That's
how's
correct.
she's doing? Like how's she?
She's quiet.
Okay.
She's sort of kind of more reserved. She was Jason's rib. They had a very close relationship,
Mm,
and there are days where it just doesn't seem real. Um, we again are blessed. Jason's friends, we call them the SOB, boys that
mm,
stand on business. They're still showing up every day. Actually, she just turned 14
yeah.
2 days ago, March
Yeah.
30th, and again they haven't left our side. Still there, still showing up.
Yeah.
Their parents, the family, the church, the
Mm,
school, my students, still encouraging her,
mm,
still lifting her up. She currently is a student at Congress Community Middle School in Boynton.
Mm.
And everything that she's going through, she's in her third trimester, 4.0,
Wow.
striving to be
Wow.
great, doing it for herself and knowing that her
Wow.
brother is looking on. And when
Wow.
I tell you, I commend her because I'm a very private person when it comes to my family and my children. But to see everything that she has gone through and to still strive
Yeah.
to want to be great, to know that people are looking to want to do it for herself,
Yeah.
and then to know that her brother is looking on. I'm just so proud of her. And I don't often tell her that because I have high expectations. Because your mom is a teacher, people think or assume, Miss Jackson goes home and, she's a teacher. That's why she got that 4.0.
Right.
No, it's a level of expectation in my house.
Mm.
If you don't know something, I'm willing to help you. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, you must get an education.
Yeah.
You have those teachers that are dependent on you to do your job, and your family is dependent on you to do your job.
Mm.
And, for her to come home and say, Mom, God is so good. I worked so hard and the hard work paid off. I earned the A.
Mm.
And I like that. You earned it. They didn't
Mm.
give it to you because nothing
Mm.
in life people will give you. You have to earn it.
Right.
So I'm just so proud of her.
Mm.
So, and I want to let the kids know, don't give up. Keep pushing.
Mm.
No matter what, you got to keep pushing.
Mm. Mm. And that's so real because for her 4.0, right?
4.0.
4.0. Okay, so her having a 4.0 and just I don't even know if I could. I'm gonna be honest, I could do that with really losing my brother, Um, but she still had a drive and said, you know what, like I still got a purpose, I still got to keep going, and I think that's only from God.
Yeah.
That's possible because I know so many students, and it's normal to fall into really depression
Depression,
and
isolation.
yeah, yeah, it's real. Like just to be in that spot while battling the loss,
Yeah.
but she still found the drive and the hope and the purpose. Say, no, I still got to keep going.
Yeah.
So that's really powerful.
People tell her all the time, especially the boys. They say, Mom. They call me Mom. They say, Mom, I don't know how she does it. Lyric is so strong. Because there's days where they cry. There's days where they miss him. There are days when they're angry and they're upset and they just don't understand. Like, how could this happen to Jason, not Jason? But Lyric just keeps pushing like, Mom. And so they want to know more. Why? What's the reason? Why? And she's not ashamed. Nothing but God. Invites them to church. They come to church with us often. She recently got baptized. All of them came. It was just beautiful. She ushers just like her brother. She actually wears his pen. And it's just full circle. It's just full circle. I am extremely blessed. I really am. Yeah.
I'm going back to something that you said at the funeral. Again, I remember a couple of things that you mentioned, but I remember I think it was at the viewing, if I'm not mistaken. I remember you were encouraging the boys in the room to be obedient to parents.
That's correct.
And to they're not always trying to be on you. They just want to make sure you're okay.
That's correct.
And I think there's a lot of students out there that are like they're tired of being, controlled or telling being told what to do or how to live their life. But sometimes I think sometimes in our walk with God or so-called the Christian life is that and then just being in a household with a parent, sometimes we feel like it's in a box to where we can't, oh, you're a Christian, you can't go do this, or you can't go party, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's more of like, hey, you can't do these things. Same thing in our household where we feel like it's a box, like your parents saying you can't do this, can't do that. And we just feel trapped inside to where it's like, no, they're not trying to stop you from having fun. It's guardrails to keep you safe.
Absolutely.
So I would love for you to share more on that. Just
ultimately, you do have to be authentic. Winning Teacher of the Year for 2027, I do feel like there are eyes definitely on me, more so now than ever. But at the end of the day, I still conduct myself business as usual. I'm Miss Jackson. I'm a teacher. I'm a mother of two. But you always have to be mindful. People are watching. You have to be careful what you say. There are rules in place to keep you safe, but also to make sure that you stay in line.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Kids have their parents that are holding them accountable. I have my boss in the school district that's holding me accountable
Mm.
because you are a leader.
Yeah.
And it's the impact that you leave out there in the community. That's very important. It's
Mm.
very important. And I tell kids, keep your location on. Your parents need to know. That's how I was able to locate Jason.
Yeah.
Be honest. If you're feeling some type of way with your parents or you don't understand, have a conversation. Get off your phone,
Mm.
get off your laptop, and have those authentic conversations.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, it may not turn out how you want to,
Yeah.
but there still needs to be some level of respect.
Yeah.
You need to be open to communication. God has a funny way of humbling you
Mm.
and making you sit in it
Yeah.
and open up your eyes.
Yeah.
Jason's death is not in vain.
Mm.
Trust me, it opened up a lot of kids' eyes.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
it's important.
Mm.
Listen to your parents.
Mm.
Tell them where you're going.
Mm.
And most importantly, follow your gut.
Yeah.
Follow your gut,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I look at a lot of students, and we touched on this a little bit earlier, just how, a lot of us do, and I'll be honest, I didn't come from the best family life,
Yeah,
and I wish it was different, and we can't really choose our parents and who we're raised by and
that's
all those
correct.
things. But I do know there's students out there that may say like, hey, like, um, for me, I don't have the best home life, and the result for not having the best home life is that they're wilding out and
Of
they
course.
doing certain things. And I think there is no structure. There is no, hey, I never was taught these things. So
Yeah.
like what should I do? Where should I turn to? So what would you say to that young lady, that one young man that's saying, hey, I didn't have parents to teach me. Like what should I do? Where should I go to find some structure or find some leadership or advice?
First, just acknowledging that you have a concern about self. I need help. You
Yeah.
have to first acknowledge you need help. If you don't trust your parents or you don't have the supportive home life, you're in school about 7, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Find you that guidance counselor,
Hmm.
that trusted teacher. You might maybe it's an administrator to go to.
Hmm.
The wonderful thing, I'm so grateful that you invited me here.
Yeah.
There's programs like your programs out there that provide opportunities to seek God and
Hmm.
to go, and you guys provide counseling and prayer and those things. I think that more of the programs like your program should be in these schools. I do feel like there is a need because that kid may not have the transportation to get to that counseling session. But what if that opportunity was at school?
Mm.
The first 2 minutes of school, children, they get that moment of silence to do as they please. That's a great opportunity to invite maybe Christ in your life. Maybe you sit in silence and just simply reflect. Maybe you do absolutely nothing.
Mm.
But to know that there are programs like yours that are out there to support children who want to be closer to Christ or
Hmm.
may not know who to turn to, I just think is just a wonderful thing
Yeah.
because I didn't have that when I went to school.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, and I think that some students may feel like they're afraid, and there's really nothing wrong with seeking a program, seeking to go get help. I think
Yeah,
that like we all try to sometimes, not saying it for everyone, but we all try to feel cool, or we can't go and go have a conversation with someone. But I encourage y'all, man, like you don't know what's on the other side of your reach when you step out your comfort zone and say, you know what, I am going to go seek help. I am going to go to that program. I am going to go to Young in Faith, or it's probably not mine, or any program at the school. I encourage you guys. There's amazing people that are providing a service that can really help you. Because again, we can't choose a life that was given to us, but we
that's
get to choose
correct.
how we respond to it. We get to choose how we respond to it. And I think um, when you ask the Lord, hey, God, send me an opportunity, He will give you an opportunity. He will give you opportunities to find help and to get mentors. And I think the biggest thing that helped me out in my life was mentorship. When I didn't have the best role models around my family, it was mentors that stepped up and said, hey, because I was willing and because I had that hungry spirit, they were like, I'm gonna invest into that kid. And I'm here 23 years old, doing things I never thought I could do because someone invested to me and said, hey, I see something.
Same here.
Yeah, so
My mentors.
it's powerful. It's
It is.
powerful. It's powerful. So yeah, we encourage y'all, man, to get out to a program and get plugged in. And you got your youth is limited. So you're gonna be an adult, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like high school went by for me fast, so um, enjoy that time, but also be intentional with your time.
Absolutely.
Don't be wilding out and trying to live fast life. Be intentional with your years because what you say yes to at 15 and 16 or 14 determines your 20, your 22.
Absolutely.
What you say yes to or not. And not to say that we're not going to make mistakes. I think all of us are going to make
Absolutely you will.
mistakes.
And
And
we'll continue to make them.
exactly. Let's go into that. Like, there's a lot of students that feel like it is the end for them because they have made a mistake or they have done something probably you shouldn't have done. And I mean, you've been around youth for a while. Like, talk to that one student that's like, man, I made a mistake. It's over for me.
It's never too late to turn it around.
Mm,
It's a temporary feeling. You're going to go through it, but it's not a part of the journey is going through it. But then how do you turn it around?
mm,
When you deal with adversity or made a bad mistake, what are you now going to do to fix that?
mm,
I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every day. Being a teacher is not easy.
mm.
Sometimes you don't always hear the right things. Maybe you went up there and taught a lesson the wrong way. Maybe you walked past somebody in the hallway, one of your colleagues, and they spoke and your mind is so busy, you forgot to speak and they're like, oh God, what's wrong with her today?
Yeah.
And them bringing it to your attention and acknowledging, hey, and then not getting upset about it, acknowledging that it happened, and then what can I do to fix it?
Mm,
I think kids think that when they make mistakes, it's permanent. It isn't.
mm,
It isn't permanent.
mm,
There's always time and room to fix it.
mm.
You just don't have forever,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how does I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. 'Cause I literally just jumped off. We were talking about your teaching career and just a little bit about that, but I missed one question was how did faith how does faith play a role, in your teaching? Because you're teaching, you're not just a teacher, but you're a teacher you're a Christian woman
That's
that's
correct.
teaching, and you're in the classrooms and you're representing God and loving all those children and being a representation of Christ. So like, how's that feeding into your teaching and everything?
I think it goes back to what my pastor said. He says it often. St. John is known as place of love. It's the house of love. Kids need to know that you love them. It's not what you say. I don't need to go and protest. I love God and I love my students. It's
Mm,
not what I say, it's what I do.
mm,
For 22 years, I have been pouring into the children of Palm Beach County the stories, the reflections, the daily emails that I receive from my students. They are graduating high school, now college. They invite me to baby showers, weddings. I
wow.
attend funerals. I know that I'm having an impact. I don't have to say I'm a woman of faith. They can see it in me.
Mm,
They know
mm,
she loves the Lord.
mm,
We can tell it. They watching when I have a snack. I take a couple seconds, pray before I eat. I have to say a word. They know what's happening.
mm,
And most importantly, I don't try to push it on them. This is my walk. I would love for everybody to take that walk with me, but the reality is they don't have to. They're
yeah.
not mandated. I would love for them to have that relationship with Christ. But irregardless of what their faith, race, creed, or religion, when they see me, I want to exude a woman of faith.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am a woman of faith in a classroom, Palm Beach County, making an impact, not just with students, but with other teachers, with my administration, with other teachers at other schools.
Yeah.
So that's really my message. Everybody wants to be celebrated. Everybody, I'm sure, would have loved to have won that title. School teacher 2027, Palm Beach County Teacher of the Year. But I truly feel, without a shadow of a doubt, it's not just the work that I do. God has his hand all in it.
Mm,
My son is my why, but my students are also my why.
mm,
Maybe if that had not happened to me, maybe my drive in the classroom may have not been as strong
mm,
or been there because of what I've gone through. So I attribute me losing my son. It's my purpose of why I'm working so
mm,
hard in the classroom.
mm,
And the kids, they see it.
mm,
They see it in my smile. They see it in the hugs that I give them. They see it in the conversations that I give to my students. And, There's a little girl. She goes to my church. She said, Miss Jackson, it was so good to see you at
Mm,
church. And her grandmother says, Miss Jackson, she just loves you.
mm,
Like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Everything you say, those kids, they're dependent on you.
mm,
And through my tears, I shed my tears and I say, Lord, thank you. I'm doing something right.
mm.
So that's my message.
And you are like you're in the classroom coming back from that, and even before the whole
Yeah,
tragedy, you were already that woman of God that was being a representation of Christ
absolutely.
and loving all those children. You can tell, like you said, students know.
They know.
You don't have to tell people you're a Christian. You
Yeah,
live it out, and they know exactly who you are. They know the difference, and I think that's very powerful. How you just you you went through all of that and got back up and said, no, I'm gonna keep going. I'm
absolutely.
gonna let my faith continue to
Absolutely.
lead on.
Absolutely. The
And
devil would like for me to give up.
yeah,
The devil would like for me to say, Lord, I don't trust you. How could you take my son away from me? How could you do this to me? Why not? Why am I excluded from tragedy or pain?
mm,
But in spite of it all, that is my message. Lord,
mm,
I trust you.
man, I wanna, I want you to share one story of Jason that you feel like everybody needs to hear. A story back in time that you feel like is just wow, like everyone needs to be reminded of this, of who Jason was.
Jason is this loving young man with these dreads, these beautiful green eyes, this caring, just so giving of himself, willing to give people rides, willing to be a listening ear. He was a mentor. He was a servant of the Lord. He gave his time. When he played football, he would tell them, I'll be back. My church is doing a back to school drive and I want to be there. I need to show up. He would come with his number 14 jersey on and he was proud, very quiet, very humble. But what I want people to know, most importantly, he loved his friends. He loved his school. He loved his homeboys. He loved his family. But most importantly, he loved God. He loved
Mm,
God. And I've had a conversation with Jason, what people don't know. I said, son, we're here on borrowed time. What if you leave before me or I leave before you? He said, Mom, if something happens to you, I just will lose my mind. I will crash out. He said, but Mom, we're going to be okay. You raised us right. And I said, well, Jason, what if something happened to you? I don't know what I would do. He said, Mom, I'll be all right because I'm
mm,
going to be with God.
mm,
I keep telling people God was preparing me for this. I just couldn't see it.
mm,
I just didn't know it.
mm,
I could not see it.
mm,
God was preparing me for his death.
mm,
I just can't believe it.
mm,
So I want to let people know the message that everybody got from that funeral. Jason did just what he wanted to do in those 18 years of life. Do what you want to do. Do it in moderation. Think about others.
mm,
Do it from the heart.
mm.
Be kind to yourself and others. And most importantly, if you get the opportunity, if you allow God in your life, have that personal relationship with God
Mm.
so that when he calls you home, he can say, my good and faithful servant, well done.
Done. Amen. Amen.
Yeah,
That's character and a bold story like that that you want you don't want your name to live on. You want to have the representation of Christ live on, and I think that's amazing. Like he left behind a story to tell, a
absolutely.
history of he lived it out. We're not just talking it. He lived it out. He did that.
Absolutely.
So it's you can never forget that. Same way you can never forget a teacher that gives her heart out every single day. Like I still remember teachers from elementary school that loved on me, and like because why love is powerful,
Yeah,
character is powerful, and people don't remember things. And I if you're listening to this, students, like you're hearing someone that that's not here no more. A young man that's not here no more, but his character's still living on. His
Yeah.
story's still living on. And it's the question for you is like, what will people remember you as? Like how you were saying, what are you leaving behind? What is the work that you're doing
I
here?
just told my daughter that. What
Mm,
legacy will you leave behind?
exactly.
It's not Jason's legacy. That's his legacy.
Mm,
It's not mommy's legacy. What legacy will you leave behind? What will people remember you by?
yeah,
And that's important. That's a very important question. And hopefully that will be the drive to help those kids who are lost to find their way back on track.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
That's big. That's big. Lawanna, leave the audience with one more thing. What is one thing you want to leave uh, just for everyone to know in general from this conversation? One takeaway.
One takeaway is you don't get to choose your career. You don't get to choose your family. You don't get to choose the good and the bad things that happen to you.
Yeah.
But what you can control is no matter what happens, how you handle it. You know, we're going to fall down, but getting back up and living to fight another day,
Mm,
being a servant, whatever you do in life, whatever your profession is, don't forget the people that poured into you. Take those things and then pour into other people.
wow.
So that's the legacy that I want to leave behind, that she was a great teacher. You know, they may not remember any other teacher, but I want them to remember me. And I think I'm
Mhm.
doing a really good job
You are.
at people remembering me.
Yeah.
So I am truly grateful. And I
Yeah.
just really appreciate you taking time,
Yeah.
to let me share my story.
No, I'm grateful that you are here. And I just believe that this, whoever's listening, is going to go beyond. It's going to blow up on social media because there are so many people right now in the world that are struggling, in our
They
community
are.
are struggling. And what you shared today gave them hope, for them to keep going.
Absolutely.
And we overcome by the word of our testimonies and the things that we've been through. And with us sharing our stories, what we've been through, it gives us hope to continue to keep living on. So, Lawanna, thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'm going to have you back on because there's going to be some more
Great.
stories that come about.
Great.
And we're going to have some more stuff coming out in the years. So, y'all get ready. You're going to have Lawanna back here again. And let Young in Faith loves you. We're celebrating you,
Thank you so
all
much.
that God is doing through your life. And we just believe for more to come out. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Share this story with someone that needs to hear this because faith is on the move. And until every name knows about Jesus, we're going to keep going. All right. Amen.